Okay, today is the start of our new chapter, and this is the first grammar section. We really two grammar sections we're going to focus on in this chapter. One is the progressive tenses, and then the other is comparing the preterite and the imperfect. So really this is the only new thing you're going to learn, and the other one is just more of a focus of the preterite and imperfect side by side. So, the progressive tense, we say we use it. Go ahead. Go ahead. I have that pencil sharpened. We say we use the progressive tense to emphasize what you are currently doing. And I think this is more commonly used in English than it is in Spanish. But it's just emphasizing it right now. Okay? In Spanish, okay, when we would use the present tense just to say what's happening right now, ella come. But in English, we say she is eating, and that is the equivalent to the progressive tense. The ing is what we call the present progressive in English, because it's the ing. But in Spanish, she's eating is ella come. But if we wanted to emphasize that she's eating, like right now, we're going to use the Spanish progressive tense. For example, I look at Victoria and it's like, okay, Victoria's eating an apple or something. But let's say Victoria is at home and a boy calls her up and her dad answers, or calls her house phone. And the dad answers and she says, or he says to the boy on the phone, Victoria is eating right now. She cannot talk to you. He's emphasizing it that she's doing something with her family and she cannot go talk to that boy, Pablo, whoever. Okay? So whenever we want to emphasize that it's happening right now. Another example, we could say the teacher is lecturing. The teacher is lecturing. Or I could say, hey, the teacher is lecturing right now. Don't talk. Okay, I'm emphasizing what's happening. The teacher is lecturing. Can be, it's just happening right now, or I'm emphasizing it. That's what's going on, so pay attention. Okay? Does it make sense while we use the two ways with emphasis and we're just stating what's happening? Okay. So let me show you how we form. There's two tenses we're going to look at. The first one is the present progressive. You need to know this formula. The present tense of a star plus what we call a present participle. And we know how to do the present tense of a star, hopefully. We learned it this time last year in Spanish 1. How do we conjugate a star? Estoy, estás. Excelente. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. Notice the accents are in the to form, the he, she form, and the they form. Estoy, estás, está, estamos, están. Then we have to form a present participle. And to form a present participle, you take the infinitive of a verb, you chop off the ending, and you either add ando, yendo, or yendo. Okay? Ando goes on the end of AR verbs. And this is for all of the subjects. So it's not like hablando, and you have to make that agree with yo and tu and ella, usted, nosotros, and the ellos form. It's just hablando on all of them. Okay. For an IR verb, we add yendo, I-E-N-D-O. Okay. So comer would be comiendo. Escribir would be escribiendo. Okay. Any guesses when we would use the yendo with a Y? Two vowels. It wants to keep this vowel sound strong. So you're going to use the yendo when the stem of a verb, like in leer, the stem of it is L-E. When the stem ends in a vowel, you're going to use the yendo with a Y. Normally it would be I-E-N-D-O, but the I has to change to Y to keep that strong. Okay. And that's only for IR verbs. Okay. AR verbs it doesn't apply to. Okay, so if you're going to say, I'm talking right now, I'm emphasizing, hey, I'm talking right now, you better listen, right? So you say, estoy hablando. You are talking, estás hablando. He is talking. Está hablando. We are talking. Estamos hablando. And they are talking. Están hablando. You don't have to make the ando agree with anything. Okay. Another reason why we might use a progressive tense. The office calls me and I said, Angelina's taking a test right now. She is testing. I'm going to emphasize it. She can't go to the office. Okay, so we're going to use the present progressive to emphasize. Isn't it cold sitting over there?
It's really hot.
It's really warm.
Hot over there?
I'm fine, but
All right. We also, sometimes we have reflexive verbs, okay? So if we have a reflexive verb, we're going to put that pronoun. What's a pronoun when it comes to talk about a reflexive verb? Me, te, say, no, say, okay? We're going to put those in front of the verb star, or you attach it to the participle. What's the participle? The ando or yendo verb. Yep. Okay. If you attach it to the participle, you have to add an accent. And it looks like this. So, and keep in mind you can't break up that conjugated verb star and that participle. You can't put it in front of the participle. And like this, here's your example. Esconderse. I'm hiding myself, like right now. Okay, so you're hiding from a robber under your table and you call 911. You're saying, I'm hiding right now. You could say, me estoy escondiendo. Part of the reflexive pronoun me goes in front of a star, the conjugated verb. Or you can attach it to escondiendo and you have to accent the E. Escondiéndome. Because the natural accent when you just say escondiendo is on that E. So when you add that pronoun at the end, it would change the way you pronounced it because naturally it would be escondiéndome. So you have to maintain the original sound of that participle. Okay, escondiéndome. It's getting cold in here already. It's cold. Don't you close that? I'm cold. Thank you. So does that make sense? You can't break up that conjugated verb estoy from its participle. They're married. They're little. They're joined together there. So either in front of a star, where you don't have to worry about accents, or you put it on the E, on the yendo, or the A if it was ando. Okay, here's preocuparse. Okay, you are worrying. Okay, you're worrying right now. Don't worry. Okay, te estás preocupando. Dropped off AR on preocupar, and we put the te in front. Or you can say estás preocupándote. Okay, we accented that ando, the A, to keep that same sound. Questions so far? Preguntas. I'm going to stop my recording and we're going to continue here in just a second. Just I don't want to run out of time.